But yeah, so I mean, I gave 3 great recommendations. Now we're going to be getting to a topic that I'm not particularly wanting to talk about, but I feel like I should because it would be maybe a cathartic experience for me. But so we're talking about in the video game world, there's a certain video game that is going to be coming out. Sorry, I'm kind of paying attention to what's going on outside now. Yeah, fucking some people talking. Who gives a shit? Um, a certain video game is it's probably a game that is probably one of my highly like one of the highest anticipated games for me like ever. It's kind of funny how the two like two of the biggest like highly anticipated games of all time for me are coming out this year. One being Cyberpunk 2077. I'm not talking about this one right now. I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2. And I think a lot of you have, especially on here on YouTube, and I know people are kind of getting in trouble on this platform by just sheer talking about this. But yeah, the story was leaked by someone. It's kind of unsure who it exactly was. There's rumors out there that it's a disgruntled employee, and that would make sense with all of Naughty Dog's kind of leaked business practices dealing with their employees, having this whole crunch culture and not paying their employees, which I do not support. And what the fuck, Naughty Dog, pay your goddamn employees, have a better culture there. I mean, I don't know how putting people under crunch really stimulates creativity. I don't know. I don't really understand that. I don't, having a time. I understand having a timeline and having goals to be set, and those are kind of necessary. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is just giving me even more pissed off. I am so sorry. I am so sorry about this. God fucking damn it. God, this pisses me off. I'm so sorry. But now I'm getting a little bit more pissed off about this, but if you're even on here on the internet, like, and you're anticipating and you're kind of following the whole Last of Us news coming into it, like you've probably been spoiled because the entire story was leaked online. Of the whole story was leaked of The Last of Us Part 2 was leaked online. And man, I'm just so pissed off about what I know and just how this experience was ruined for me. But I'm also kind of a little bit thankful. I mean, when I first kind of got some things spoiled, I just like, okay, I don't want to fucking know anymore. Fuck you. Fuck this. And I was kind of gonna initially kind of defend The Last of Us Part 2, like in its story. I was gonna come on here and like actually defend it and kind of defend the position of like, oh, context does matter. And it does matter. Context truly does matter. Holy shit. I hate people. I mean, even though they're just doing their jobs out there, but oh, Jesus, god damn it. But like I said, context does matter. Like just imagine for a second that you haven't seen and you're unfamiliar with the story of The Sixth Sense, and all you know about The Sixth Sense before going to see it is that one of your favorite actors, Bruce Willis, is the main character. What if someone told you before you saw it, oh yeah, by the way, Bruce Willis dies in like the first 5 minutes of the film? I'm so sorry. I didn't know this was going to be happening right now, and I'm actually really fucking pissed off about this kind of ruining the audio of my podcast, but it's what we have to do. So just imagine that, yeah, someone spoils, tells you that, oh, Bruce Willis dies in the first 5 minutes of The Sixth Sense before you even saw the film and knew what the story was. But obviously, since you've seen it, that whole story beat doesn't get revealed until the very end. So yes, context does matter. But I thought maybe I should probably familiarize myself a little bit more with the leaks since I've already been kind of spoiled already. And there was one key detail that I didn't know. I'm not spoiling anything here. I'm not fucking talking about it because if you don't want spoiled, don't go looking for it like I did. This is partly my fault. I spoiled it for myself and I just kind of went on a little bit because it's like, oh, I already know, so let me just watch something else about it. And I was going to be like, I don't know why people are really criticizing this game before they've even played it, and now that I know that one key detail, I understand why people are really fucking pissed off. And most of the story leaks, I was just like, oh, okay. that's not terrible. I mean, some of it I kind of expected going into the game. And then this one key detail that, you may be playing as a certain character for a decent amount of the game. Yeah, that rubs me the wrong way. I'm like, yeah, that does not work. That kind of sucks. And I mean, there's still, I'm sure, still a way that they could make it good, but like I'm really having a hard time seeing the context and of how this works and how this is an enjoyable experience. But yeah, I'm overall just kind of pissed off and disappointed in myself and other, Jesus fucking Christ. Nothing can go right, guys. I'm just disappointed, and overall, this year just sucks. And this whole Last of Us 2 situation sucks, and it's very disappointing. Like I said, I've never been this let down since I played Mass Effect 3 and experienced that ending. And if you've ever played the Mass Effect series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That ending initially was one of the worst endings I've ever experienced. Even worse than Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is pretty fucking bad. At least Game of Thrones gives you some closure with characters. Mass Effect 3's initial ending, gave you absolutely no closure for any of your characters, and all your actions through that point really didn't fucking matter at all. And you were told that they did matter, and it didn't. It doesn't. But they did kind of make it up with it, your extended cut DLC being free, and the Citadel DLC kind of providing all that closure with all your characters that you love. So they kind of sort of redeemed themselves. But yeah, here, man, I don't really know who thought that idea for the story was a good idea. Maybe it is. But it just kind of comes across that, holy shit. I'm just going to wait. It just comes across that, oh, don't you fucking do it again. It just comes across that you're just kind of putting it out there to just be surprising rather than having a valuable story. And like, I get it. The Last of Us Part 1 is not a happy story, and I wasn't expecting a happy one for Last of Us Part 2, but just, I don't know, man. It just seems kind of out of touch, the story decision. But, yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm probably still going to play the game because, I mean, what I've seen, I'm sure the gameplay and the way the animation and the visuals look and the feel, it's still going to be like top notch. It's probably still going to be like gameplay wise a really good game. But from that whole point that I know on is going to be really hard to play. And it's not particularly a game that I really want to play. But I'll probably still play it and maybe give you guys maybe like a spoiler review. Like just a certain podcast just dedicated to the entire game and be spoiler heavy, just to kind of be a little bit cathartic on this issue, because this really sucks, and it just really makes the year of 2020 even worse, and it just seems like it keeps getting worse with this whole like fucking murder wasp being in Washington now that just kills people, and these fucking wasps are like this big. It's kind of insane. And just the way this year's gone has just been all terrible. And, man, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be getting any better. But that leads into, my message, because it will hopefully eventually get better.